We are live. We live. We live. We live. All right. Let's get this shit going. Let me put this link out there. Shout out to Mazuma Nation. Shout out to the Mazuma Mob. We back in the building. I would like to thank my girl for this setup that she just bought me. Microphone, LED lights, a camera stand. Real considerate of what I got going on right now. Just found out how to do the banner. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good start. It's a real good start. All right, let me check. Let me make sure the audio all good. Let me make sure the audio is straight. This is a little surprise live right now. Yeah, I mean, we definitely gonna get into it today. We definitely gonna get to talking. Let me see if they can hear me. We definitely gonna get to talking. Let me see if they can hear me. Yeah, y'all can hear me just fine. Uh, let me see. Let me see something. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm back in the building. My bad, y'all. Let me see if y'all can hear me now. Let me see if y'all can hear me now. All right, we good. All right, we got 3 topics we discussing today. Um, I'm gonna see. I don't know if I'm able to break these jaws into shorts to catch people. To catch people's opinion. To catch more people's attention on my lives. But regardless, we gonna talk some boxing, baby. We gonna talk some boxing. Before I get into that, man, check out MazumaMerch.com. This merch is for the boxing fan. This is for the fighter. A lot of these, designs. Well, all of these designs are 100% made by me. Definitely came down to my own creativity. I put a lot of hard work and time into that merch, and it's been quite successful. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy with it, but I just wanted to show it just to see what you guys think about it. You know what I'm saying? My subscribers have been shooting up through the roof lately. I'm extremely grateful for that. On my road to 1,000 subscribers, I'm more than halfway there. So I would like to thank Southpaw TV for that and just the great support system that I have in general for um, taking care of that for me. But this oh yeah, and also I just came out of the amateur show out of my boxing gym. Shout out to my dad for making that all happen. You know what I'm saying? He put this show together. I was able to put some fights together too. I definitely put my matchmaker hat on for this one. And it was a good show. We had a few pullouts, unfortunately. When you in the amateur boxing scene, that's very common. A lot of guys pull out. A lot of guys in reality just don't want to fight. You know what I'm saying? So we just gotta show out and adjust accordingly. Um, Shout out to all 3 of my fighters that participated today. They all won. Um, First, I want to shout out Sael Gonzalez, super sharp side. He is officially 2-0. He went up against a strong opponent from out York, PA, man. And he's actually a really good kid, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to definitely look out for him and keep him busy as well because he took the ride down here and he put it all on the line, man. He was able to come through. He was a man of his word from the beginning and was more than willing to fight my guy, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I just feel like in Philadelphia, it's really hard for me to get my guys fights. You know what I mean? So I'll be having to reach out to different cities and townships and shit like that to see if anyone's willing to step up. So I'm a real appreciative of Jordan Davari. That's his name. So shout out to him. Sael was able to get the victory. You know what I mean? A clean victory, a clean sweep, in my opinion. And shout out to Christian Gutierrez. Christian Gutierrez put it all on the line as well, right after Sael. He had a tough, strong opponent, in all honesty, but the opponent had pretty much ran out of gas and was just trying to survive. And Chris really showed some true grit in there, put the pressure, and was able to steal them last rounds to get the victory. So shout out to Christian as well. You know what I mean? Real tough, talented, a lot of potential. You know what I mean? Just got to keep believing in himself. And then shout out to our female fighter, the first lady over at Pivot Boxing Academy. That's Taylor Djokovic. She's probably been the most busy out of all the people that we've had. She's fought a lot lately. You know what I'm saying? And I thought she got robbed in her bout, her prior bout. But she bounced back, made the adjustments in camp, and she showed out. And she was the only one who was able to get a stoppage victory on our card. So she became, not only did she win the fight by knockout, but she was also named the fighter of the night, which is a pretty dope accomplishment. It's a dope trophy that you get along with the trophy you get for the victory. So shout out to Taylor. Shout out to Chris. Shout out to Sael. They definitely did their thing. It lets me know that we doing things right. You know what I mean? I pretty much co-trained Taylor with my father. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely put some work in with her as well. So I'm proud of what's going on with Pivot right now, man. Like our amateur stable is growing, and we've been reaping the benefits of our victory. We definitely grateful. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just say that. So I give myself a pat on the back for that one, and I appreciate my fighters because they could easily go to any other gym or train with any other trainer, but they chose me. They believe in me, so I'm extremely grateful for the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. But I just wanted to shout them out because I literally just came from amateur show over to my house, and now I'm on live with y'all. So that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to all three of them, man. I just can't wait for the rest of my guys to take off and stay busy. Definitely looking for a show to participate in real soon. So shout out to the Mazuma mob, man. That's the Mazuma mob right there. Shout out to Mazuma Nation, all that good shit. All right. First topic we're gonna speak on is exactly what's how I'm gonna put it in the order that's exactly in the title. Shout out to the 5 people that's viewing me. That's pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? I'm used to having 0 viewers and just talking to myself. So shout out to them. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them. I'm honored. You know what I'm saying? So first thing we're gonna talk about is Jake Paul and Nate Diaz. This is not something I really get into in all honesty. I don't really get too much into like the YouTube boxers and stuff like that. I'm not really a big fan of Jake Paul, obviously. Shout out to my boy Josh. Shout out to my boy Josh, man. Eventually he'll be on the podcast with me, real knowledgeable dude. His dad was a professional fighter. You know what I mean? If you want to shout him out, feel free. I feel like that's not really my place, but his dad was a hell of a fighter. Sparred some of the best fighters in the world, legends. You know what I mean? And held his own. Definitely was a dope fighter to see. You know what I'm saying? The clips that I've seen of him, rough, rugged dude, just tough. You know what I'm saying? He's the son of a former professional fighter, real knowledgeable dude. There's not too many people I could really click with the boxing talk and stuff like that. Because once I feel like somebody don't really know what they're talking about, you know what I mean? I don't really engage with them too much, but I could really sit there and have a conversation with this man and respect his perspective because he's knowledgeable. You know what I mean? So shout out to Josh, man. He definitely tuned in as well. Long-term plans, definitely want to get a podcast taken off. But I'm gonna deal with this little set that I got up right now. It's pretty dope. Jake Paul, Nate Diaz. Like I said, I'm not really into the YouTube boxing stuff like that. I don't really rock with them TikTok boxers and everything along those lines. I'm not really too into that. I try to stay away from that stuff because I just feel like when I get to talking about that, I just feel like I'm TMZ at one point, and I ain't really with that gossiping and all that stuff. I just want to keep it real. I want to keep it as knowledgeable as possible with the boxing and talk about fighters who's actually making an impact on the sport. Don't get it wrong, like Jake Paul doing his thing with signing Amanda Serrano and doing some great things for Puerto Rico and stuff like that. I definitely see that. But we all know exactly like what his formula is. And for him to get all this publicity while other boxers, in my opinion, who's been grinding all their life to get the same recognition, I just feel like he got a little bit of privilege on his side, and I can't respect it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this dude seems to get respect from other fighters, you know what I'm saying? But I just feel like guys like Jalen Love, like they straight cornballs, you know what I'm saying? Like they just in it for the clout. They wasn't shit as fighters, so they trying to get some spotlight off of a guy who started off on the Disney Channel. So it is what it is, man. I don't want to dig too deep into it, but everybody know who Nate Diaz is, and he's obviously not a boxer. He's from the UFC, definitely a UFC legend. Has some memorable moments on there. Rough, rugged guy. He the type of dude he'll take 2 shots to land one. You know what I mean? Real tough. Got a lot of scar tissue. You know what I mean? That's definitely gonna play a factor in this fight, in my opinion. And he had to eat up to get to this weight. So not only are you fighting a guy with no boxing experience, you're making him come up to a weight class that he's clearly fat in. You know what I'm saying? That not in the best shape. If you've been following Nate Diaz's career, he's always been in the realm of 155 to 170. You know what I'm saying? I thought 170 was a little bit too big for him, but I think like peak condition, peak shape, I definitely feel like 155 was more of Nate Diaz's weight class from a little bit that I've seen from him. But I'm more of a casual UFC guy, so if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But that's just my perspective and what I see. Um, Looking at this fight with Jake Paul, I just feel like he's just taking advantage of another MMA fighter with no previous boxing experience. Because Jake Paul is the type of dude that he's not the best boxer, but he's good enough to beat guys who come from a different combat background. Like he could beat a kickboxer that's not like top tier. He could beat a UFC fighter who's like not top tier on their way out. You know what I mean? But he can't really beat guys the with the least amount of boxing experience, like Tommy Fury. You know what I mean? Like he comes from a boxing family, but he was that dude who didn't necessarily need boxing. You know what I mean? He just only involved in it because he influenced by his family. He be on TV shows. This dude be modeling and shit like that. He not like boxing is something that he'll just participate in because it's a nice check. You know what I mean? He ain't come from that background where like he was a gritty dude fighter. Came from a fighting background, was a rough, rugged dude, and he just hopped into a gym one day. No, that's not how it go at all. You know what I mean? He's the brother of a heavyweight champion. You know what I mean? He also got other brothers, I believe, or cousins as well that box, like Huey Fury and stuff like that. So he come from that cloth, but he just not about that life. Like you come from that background, but it's not really you. You just only involved in it because you got a name and you could possibly make a couple dollars. So he wasn't even the most experienced dude, and he was able to beat Jake Paul clear, in my opinion. So that's just how I look at Jake Paul. I just think that he a leech. You know what I mean? Shout out to Southpaw, man. Shout out to Southpaw TV. He said, "Hey, yo, AJ is soft." Yeah, AJ definitely soft, but I mean, I think the person that need to be spoken about the most at this time is Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte's a fucking cheater. You know what I mean? He has a problem cheating. He's a real insecure dude that needs PEDs to get his confidence up. You know what I'm saying? As far as I understand, AJ never popped dirty for no performance enhancement drugs, but this is the second time that Dillian Whyte has tested positive for something, that he's had something in his system. So this dude is a habitual cheater. Um, he could try to spin it, reverse it, however he wants. This dude does not belong in boxing. You know what I mean? I just feel like I feel like when it comes to PEDs, it's really like one strike and you out. That's how I look at it. Like, unless you able to provide some proof that this isn't what you was about. Like with Luis Ortiz, I believe he had something in his system, but he was able to show that it was high blood pressure medication, so they cleared him. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. Like James Toney, I think he tested positive for a banned substance, but he actually had a condition where like his body wasn't able to produce muscle or something like that. It was a part of his brain that wasn't functioning properly, and they was able to clear that. You know what I mean? But uh, Dillian Whyte is a habitual cheater. This dude is all he as much as he talk, he the most insecure dude, because if you wasn't so insecure and you really believed in yourself how you claimed you did, then you wouldn't be going out your way to be taking these performance enhancement drugs. That's just how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? This is coming from somebody who is experienced in the boxing field. There's no excuse for testing positive for PEDs, especially when you at a high level, when you actually have people, when you could actually reach out to commissions and VADA and stuff like that and be like, yo, is this good to take? Like you could easily go out your way and just be like, yo, is these vitamins, are they good to take? Are these pills right here, are they good to take? You know what I mean? Like check in with the commission or check in with the doping agencies that you're dealing with prior to you even taking these things. If I'm making hundreds of thousands of dollars, even in 6, 7, fucking 8 figures, whatever, there's no way that I'm gonna go just take something blatantly. You know what I mean? And I'm not even gonna be dealing with dudes who have a past with performance enhancement drugs. Shout out to Big Cup of Joe. Salute. Southpaw said, right, these dudes know exactly what they putting into their body. This is all facts. This is all facts. They know exactly what they're doing. Like it's like I said, like you gotta have some sort of responsibility. Like not only as a fighter, but a grown ass man. If somebody hands you something, you need to know what it is before you take it. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck if it's a shake. I don't give a fuck if it's. I don't care what it is, bro. Awesome, brother. He said White didn't want to catch that uppercut again. No, facts, bro. Facts. And when you watch Dillian Whyte, he has a tendency of gassing out early in fights. You know what I'm saying? So maybe he's feeling insecure about that. And he's just trying to find a way to increase his stamina. I don't think they said what he tested positive for. I think they just said adverse findings or some shit like that, which just means like you tested hot. You know what I'm saying? That's just another way of saying like you pop dirty, and they're not saying exactly what it is yet. If this came out, please leave it in the comments. If not, then it'll come out on social media soon. But Dillian Whyte is a cheater. He needs to be removed from boxing, like right away. You know what I mean? Shout out to Tito. Let's go, coach. Going live after a clean sweep. Appreciate that, bro. Tito is one of my fighters. Whole lot of potential. I got a lot of belief in this kid, and he has the ability to do great things in boxing just off of the eye test. He looks amazing. You know what I mean? I can't wait to see him come back after his last fight. Hopefully these injuries clear and that we get right back on the road with it until, we have another home show again. But I got right into the Dillian Whyte situation, but I was speaking about Jake Paul and Nate Diaz. I'm just looking at the fight, man. This is just Jake Paul's formula. This is Jake Paul's formula. He's building his record up. You know what I'm saying? And just building it up off of UFC fighters, like names that people know, so people will tune in and possibly be like, oh, this dude might beat Jake Paul. So they'll tune in and they'll see. And then they'll see right away that these guys are not of that level. Like Nate Diaz is probably the most dangerous one because like he has sparring with guys like Andre Ward. You know what I mean? He's a guy who likes to come forward. He got a good chin. He likes to let his hands go. He has superb conditioning. But it's different when you're going against a dude who has a hell of a lot of power in that right hand. When you got a lack of defense like Nate Diaz, and when you got a lot of scar tissue like Nate Diaz, who cuts pretty much off of anything, it's like it's pretty much set in for Jake Paul to win. We just have to see exactly how he does it. You know what I mean? He fought guys like Ben Askren. Ben Askren was a fucking world-class wrestler. He wasn't no boxer. Tyron Woodley, like he was he wasn't that great of a stand-up dude. I don't even know who else he fought. Like I think this is his third UFC fighter, might be more, but like I don't really keep up with this dude like that. So like he coming off of a loss, and instead of trying to avenging it against Tommy Fury, since he says he's about this boxing shit. See, Jake fought Gibb. I don't even know who Gibb is, bro. I'm assuming he a TikToker. I don't know these dudes, bro. You know what I mean? Like I don't know these dudes. Isn't this the third time Dillian tested positive? From what I know, I think he tested positive. I think he tested positive for multiple things, and then when they had the B sample, I don't think they ever revealed what the B sample was, but we already know, man. Like if the A sample dirty, what like what's it like? How wouldn't the B sample be dirty? Mazuma Mod for life. I'll be back. Stay along for the Ride World Championship coming followed by Hall of Fame coach. Appreciate that, my brother. Definitely looking at that Hall of Fame shit, but I gotta take over Philly first before I start thinking about getting that Hall of Fame stuff. So I'm well on my way. Just gotta keep putting in the work, stay a student, keep learning. Jake forgive you. I answered that. Nate Diaz probably smoking weed right now. Facts, and that's another thing. Like, I guess weed don't really affect Nate Diaz like that, but he's not the most, like, he doesn't have the cleanest lifestyle as well. And then this is an older version of Nate Diaz. You know what I mean? Like, we got to really take this into consideration. Like, all right, he went out on the UFC on a win, but it's like, you know what I mean? And you could tell that Nate Diaz is starting to deteriorate from a mental standpoint and stuff like that. Benavidez versus Andre. Bro, this is a hell of a fight. I don't know if that's confirmed yet. I did see that they was doing some talks about that. But that's a hell of a fight, bro. Andre, who is slick, southpaw. He throw punches from awkward angles. Fast hands, fast feet, could box his ass off. And then we got Benavidez, who's a walk him down Terminator type fighter. Slightly underrated defense in my opinion. He don't really get hit all like that. Throw punches in bunches, fast, strong. He's a cumulative puncher. He's not a one-punch knockout artist, but he real good at breaking you down and then getting you up out of there. A lot of people can't handle that pressure. Will Demetrius Andre be able to take that pressure when he's only one fight in at the 168-pound division? These are questions that got to be answered, but this could be stylistically the hardest fight of Benavidez's career. So we just got to see. Like, he had a slick outboxer on Caleb Plant, and he had trouble in the beginning, but he was able to drown him and get that clean-cut, unanimous decision. Now, if Demetrius, it'll be real interesting to see how Benavidez is going to approach this fight when Demetrius Andre has pop coming from a southpaw angle, fast hands, fast feet, great boxing ability, and never really seen any, like, chinks in his conditioning. So we got to see how Benavidez approaches that. That is a tough fight stylistically for both dudes, in all honesty. KSI taking on Tommy. You know what I'm saying? Like, KSI low-key scared of Jake Paul. For real, that's what I think. So he just trying to take Jake Paul recipe and just go about it from there. But I hope Tommy get rid of him too. I hope Tommy get rid of all these YouTube dudes, bro. Just get them all, just take all their O's. Just get them the fuck out of boxing, bro. If that's what Tommy's purpose is in this boxing world, bro, I support it 100%. Because these YouTube dudes not going to respect the sport of boxing until somebody gets zipped up in the plastic. And I'm going to just leave it like that. I don't want to say too much. But, when something happened to somebody, you know what I mean, and they no longer with us, that's when people going to start falling back off boxing. Eddie Hearn direct that B sample. Nah, for real, bro. He definitely be defending these PED users. Is Tommy a YouTube boxer now? No, not necessarily. You know what I mean? Like I said, he come from a fighting family. I just think that he's not all the way dedicated in boxing because he got so many other things to make money. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I seen this man on reality TV. I seen this man with model deals and shit like that. So, like, he comes from a boxing family. He's not known for YouTube or anything like that. But boxing's not all what he's about. You know what I mean? When you got so many different things going on, could I really consider you a full-time boxer? I can't. I don't look at Tommy like that. I don't. Especially when you look at his resume. He hasn't taken any step-up fights yet. Like, the best guy on his resume was Jake Paul. And that shouldn't be the case. So of course, okay. Stevenson Loma. We gotta see if Loma take that, because from what I understand, the WBC is putting Devin Haney as champion in recess. So that's pretty much them stripping him temporary. They stripping him with a potential with the possible idea of him getting the belt back. You know what I mean? So they stripping Devin Haney. They gonna have Shakur fight whoever's in line to accept the fight, because there's a chance that Vasil Lomachenko might not accept the fight. You know what I mean? We haven't really heard much from Lomachenko and them. So is he gonna come back off of a loss against Devin Haney and fight Shakur Stevenson, who is just as dangerous, if not more dangerous, a smarter fighter? I don't know if he's gonna take that right away. You know what I'm saying? So, and if not, then they'll take on the next big thing. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. That's a great fight though if it happens. I got Shakur Stevenson though. I think Shakur is a special talent, and although Loma is a special talent as well, I just think that he's not the fighter that fought against Gary Russell. He's not the same fighter that fought against Guillermo Rigondeaux, and I just think he's too small for the weight, man. I think he's too small for the weight. That's what I think. I think he's naturally a 126, 130, and I think he moved up to 135. And he's been at 135 because there's a chance for him to make history there. He doesn't have to do too much to make the weight. And skill-wise, y'all hear me? Let me know if y'all can hear me. I just had a phone call. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Can y'all hear me? I hate when people call me when I'm on live, bro. Can y'all hear me? Yes or no? Let me know. Let me know. We got 10 people in here. I just need one answer. Okay, cool. All right, Tito, thanks. I just had a phone call. Stevenson versus Loma, that's a great fight. If that's what Tommy Purpose is, left my fucking ass off. On God, though. Bro, like, that might be his sole purpose in this boxing shit, bro. Is to just clear out YouTubers. And I'm with that, bro. I'm with that all the way. Like, he might be the superheroes for the hardcore boxing fans. Like, yo, y'all, like, Tommy probably like, yo, y'all tired of these YouTube dudes? Because I'll clear this shit out if y'all want me to. And I think Jake Paul more of a threat than KSI. So unless Tommy underestimates him, I think he'll beat KSI too. And then he can just keep chopping down the block, bro. Like, if niggas want to run it back, then he can go beat Jake Paul again. You know what I mean? Because I think these dudes, like, they one bad loss, like one knockout loss from just hanging the gloves up. So that's what I think. That's what I think the type time they on for real. What is your dream matchup right now? I got a few. AJ Wilder. I would love to see AJ Wilder. Fury Usyk. Better Be versus Bivol. Benavidez versus Canelo. Benavidez versus Bivol. That'd be fire, bro. Shit. Who else? I would like to see Morrell in that mix as well. I would like to see Morrell in that mix. Shit, now I want to see Jermall Charlo and Caleb Plant throw hands. Since that shit happened, they just set out the whole like building block for their promotion. Charlo, I want to see Charlo versus Terrence Crawford now. That's the next big fight I want to see for Terrence. 47, probably like Thurman and Boots. At 40, probably Subriel Matias versus Regis. These are all bangers, bro. All bangers. Like, I could really just go Enaway versus whoever, bro. Like, at 122, there ain't really no smoke out there for him. I think Fulton was the best chance of beating him at 22, so I think this shit is gonna be a badge on from now. But I got a lot of fantasy matchups, for real. When is Pitbull gonna stop ducking? I don't know, bro. Like, Pitbull remind me of like that one point in Triple G career where he just felt like he just gonna fight. His only focus is Canelo, and he pretty much sat himself on the bench until he got that opportunity against Canelo. Like, he was a real entitled, bro. Like, real entitled. Didn't want to fight none of the other threats in the division. He even gave up his I don't know if he got the WBC from Canelo or Triple G. I think it was from Triple G. They handed the belt to Jermell because he didn't want to fight nobody. He didn't want to fight Erislandy Lara. He didn't want to fight Jermell Charlo. He struggled against Dervinchenko. There was so many fights that he could have made, and that he just was like, nah. Even with Andre Ward, when Andre Ward was still at 68, he didn't want to make the fight happen. Like, he really set his whole career to revolve around Canelo. And it was just, like, insane. And Pitbull doing that with Tank right now. He don't want to fight no threats. He just want to go straight into the Tank rematch as if he deserved it. Like, bro, Tank beat you in one hand, bro. I'll box you clean. You don't deserve no Tank fight, bro. Tank got all these big fish on the line. Like, he could fight a Devin Haney. He could fight a Shakur Stevenson. Even at 40, he could fight the champions. Like, why does he have to go back to you, bro? He beat you clean. What you think you deserve because Tank ain't knock you out? Like, come on, bro. Crazy. Crazy. He said, yeah, we can. I don't know what he talking about. He said, I hear, appreciate you, Joe. Oh, yeah. Yes, we can. He's talking about hearing me. All right, cool. How did you have the Devin and Loma fight? I think that Devin Haney's performance was pretty, like, I thought it was underrated going into that fight. You know what I mean? Like, I thought Devin Haney did an amazing job with the body work. I thought he didn't have the best jab. He struggles to get his jab off against other southpaws. I don't know why, but I thought he had a pretty solid performance, and I thought it could have really went either way. The first time I watched it, I was like, oh, Loma got that. But I think that a lot of people just forget the beginning and middle rounds, and then they just focus on the last rounds that they've seen. So I thought it was a close fight. I thought it could have been a draw, or it could have been 7-5 either way. In all honesty, like, Loma did his thing, but you could tell he struggled with Haney's size and reach and stuff like that. It was a lot of times where he was struggling to get his range down. And I thought Devin Haney struggled with the pressure a little bit. I thought he was cracking a little bit off of that pressure Loma was putting towards the end. But I think that's more because he leaving a lot of his fight at the gym with the hard weight cuts that he's doing. Like, he cutting weight. You can tell he's struggling at 35 so bad that he has to leave a lot of fight in the gym to make that weight. So I think him going to 140, he'll feel a lot better. He'll perform a lot better. And once he feel how good he feel at 140, he's not going back to 135. So I think the belt's going to be vacant as soon as he fights Regis, especially if he beats Regis. Tommy be making millions with YouTubers than real boxers, so I think that's why he's sticking around. That's facts. You know what I mean? No Furies, they bout their money. You know what I'm saying? So maybe he looking at it like, why would I fight a regular dude for like 100, 200,000 when I could fight Jake Paul for 2 million? You know what I'm saying? So it's smart. You know what I mean? And you getting some popularity once you beat them guys. You getting some clout from the casual fans. You might not get any hardcore fans off of that, or you might be just because they dislike Jake so much and they dislike KSI so much. But you know, you get some popularity off it, you get a bigger check. So I ain't knocking it, bro. I really ain't. Tank and Shakur, that's a hell of a fight. I think Shakur is a special talent. Like I said, I think he's a master of distance. You know what I mean? He doesn't really move his feet too much. He's not the most mobile dude. He just make you miss by inches. He make you pay. He got beautiful combinations. He varies his shots real well. Tank, explosive, fast, strong, a lot more intelligent than a lot of people give him credit for. Like, when he outboxed Isaac Cruz, I thought that was one of his best performances. He showed his IQ in that fight, and he showed you how to control an aggressive dude. You know what I mean? Even with the injury, he showed you how to fight with one hand. He showed you how to box. He showed you movement. You know what I mean? He set traps. He countered well. Had a great jab. Like, Tank is a lot smarter than a lot of people give him credit for. Like, they just talk about his power. You know what I mean? But he's a real skilled dude, and he gonna need all the skill in the world to beat a Shakur Stevenson. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna be hard to hit him. And then if you hit him, are you gonna hit him clean? You know what I'm saying? Because you can hit somebody but not have everything on it. And it's like, if he's not able to hurt Shakur, you know what I mean? Like, how is it really gonna go? You know what I mean? So I think Shakur edges him out in the skill department, but Tank is very capable of dusting off just anybody in his weight class. Do you think Boost deserves the undisputed spot? Well, this is the problem, right? Crawford and Spence made it clear that their next fight gonna be at 54, whether they rematch or not. Crawford was talking about he's struggling to make 47, and Spence, he been talking about moving up, so obviously he's struggling. So it's like it's a strong likelihood that Terrence Crawford gonna end up vacating them belts. And do I think he deserves a shot at the top guys? Yes. One, because fighting B-level dudes, he just smoking them. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's not really no competition. Like Romain Villa, a solid dude. Like he a B minus level fighter, and he just disposes of him. Any lower class dude, he's gonna stop, smoke, make look bad. The only dudes that could give him problems is the elite. So it's like, is he gonna continue fighting low level opposition until somebody give him a shot and just blow past everybody, or are they gonna give him a shot? You know what I'm saying? I think Boots, in all honesty, he's ranked in the IBF. So once Terrence Crawford vacates, he gonna end up getting a vacant title against whoever is on the rankings. You know what I'm saying? That's just honestly what I think. And then he'll just go about it from there. I think he's just gonna get a vacant title. He's not gonna get them fights with Spence and Crawford until one, he brings enough money for them to acknowledge him, and then two, when he moves up to 154, because they're not gonna be at 47 anymore. It's gonna happen. If they do fight, it's gonna be at 54. Is Lara versus Danny Garcia still gonna happen? If so, what you think of that fight? I think it's a dangerous fight for Danny Garcia, in all honesty. Like, if Lara is anything like himself, because he is up there in age, and as he's gotten older, he's been staying in the pocket more. So I can see why Danny would want that fight, because Lara has a belt at 160. He has a belt at 160. So there's a chance for him to become a 3-weight class world champion. Then on top of that, he's older, and then he's staying in the pocket more. So it gives Danny more opportunities to land his power shots. So he sees that Lara's been more of, he's adopted more of a stay in the pocket and trade type style as he's gotten older, maybe because his legs not the same. But I can see the idea behind Danny wanting to fight him. But if Lara is as pinpoint sharp and as strong as he is, then I think Danny's gonna have a long night against Erislandy Lara. But if Lara's a shell of a former self, then Danny could take advantage of it. We just gotta see how he is, because I think Lara's already in his 40s. And Danny's still, like, he's not the youngest dude, but I mean, he hasn't really showed much of a sign. Although he's been extremely active, he hasn't really shown me any signs of decline. You know what I'm saying? I've seen him get outclassed, but I don't think it was because of his age. I just think that Spence was the better fighter. I thought Thurman was the better fighter. You know what I'm saying? So it's an opportunity for Danny to win, but if Lara's anything like himself, he can outbox Danny. Who gonna retire undefeated in this era? That's a good question. That's a real good question. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not gonna be too many of them. If the best keep fighting the best, bro, there's not gonna be too many undefeated guys left. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. If I was to have to guess, probably the closest would probably be Crawford. Because Crawford not gonna be fighting too much longer, bro. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Maybe a Tank, because he said after these two fights he gonna hang him up. He said after he gets Shakur and he get Haney that he done. So maybe it could be him. Maybe Shakur got a long road ahead of him. Devin Haney got a long road ahead of him. So that's gonna be difficult to do. I don't know, man. That's just something that time is gonna have to tell on. But if I had a guess, we've already had Floyd and Andre Ward retire undefeated. David Hay reveals that Derek Chisora will face Anthony Joshua on August 12th. Bro, why do Derek Chisora keep getting these opportunities, bro? Like, I know he was on the card. I think he's supposed to fight somebody. I seen they was talking about him. Derek Chisora fight Anthony Joshua, bro. That's a real dangerous fight for Chisora, man. Chisora up there in age. He's been knocked out by lesser opponents. Anthony Joshua feeling real confident training with Derek James, and he's starting to really believe in himself and his work ethic. That might be a real dangerous fight for Chisora. Chisora need a they really don't give a fuck about Chisora, bro. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Lara beat Canelo. I thought so too, but you know. Tyson Fury. What about him? Well, yeah, he in terms of retiring undefeated, that's possible. That's possible. Crawford gonna retire undefeated for sure. In my opinion, I honestly think he's fighting Thurman next. If he moves up to 54, Thurman might take it because Thurman all about the money, bro. So, like, if the check good, he gonna go for it. Cause I know he's about to fight Earl Spence at 54. If that Terrence Crawford and Spence fight ain't work out, then Keith was gonna fight Earl at 154 for no belts. So that just lets you know where Thurman mindset at. He just like, man, I'm trying to cash out. Cause I think like after Thurman got a couple dollars, man, and then those injuries, I think he just lost passion for the sport. He lost that hunger, you could tell. You know what I mean? But Crawford and Thurman wouldn't be a bad drawing. It wouldn't. I think Crawford still stops Thurman because of inactivity and just like his inability to take body shots and shit like that. And I just think Crawford in a different, like, he has like a different type of momentum and confidence right now. He real dangerous. So yeah. Lara ain't beat Canelo. I mean, it was a close draw. It was a nip and tuck type draw where like you can make a case for either or, but in all honesty, I thought Lara outboxed Canelo. You know what I mean? That's just me though. Everybody entitled to their opinion. I like Lubin versus Bud. That's a solid John, but like my problem with Lubin is it's like, do he deserve that? Do he deserve to fight a two-time undefeated champion of the world when you've lost to guys like Sebastian Fundora and stuff like that, man? Like, I think he just came back and beat a couple dudes. I think he only fought once since the Fundora loss. You know what I'm saying? But like every time Lubin has stepped up, shit has happened to him. Both times he stepped up in fights, he got stopped. So I mean, he's a good talent. He has a lot of potential. It's still room for him to become world champion. But it's like, do you deserve the Bud fight? Is Bud even going to look Lubin way? I don't know. I think the only fight he concerned about 154 right now is Jermell. But I'm going to tell you this, though. If Tim Tszyu get that once Tim Tszyu get that WBO title, all Bud got and Earl don't accept that rematch clause right away, he better go get that title. Cause I think Bud will wash Tim Tszyu. I think he'll beat the brakes off Tim Tszyu, and that'd be an easy 4-weight class world champion right there. And regardless of whether Jermell win or lose to Canelo, he'll go back down. He's still gonna have the 3 other belts. And he could face Terrence Crawford for undisputed. So it could be an opportunity for Jermell to be 2-time undisputed champion at 1 weight class, and then we got room for Terrence Crawford to be a 3-time undisputed champion at 3 different weight classes. So either way, it's historic, bro. So yeah, I hope it play out like that. Let me see. Philip Herkovic is on that August 12th card. They should put him in versus AJ. They're not gonna take that chance right now. Eddie Hearn not gonna do that. Herkovic, he's beatable. He's beatable for sure. But are they willing to take that chance? Like, I think they already learned from that Andy Ruiz loss. They being real careful with how they move AJ. So I think Eddie Hearn gonna have him fight Derek Chisora, like they just said. He gonna dispose of Derek Chisora, and then he gonna cash him out against Wilder in Dubai. I hope Tank fights someone good soon. I'm tired of Rolly, Hector Garcia, Isaac Cruz, Ryan Garcia. Fans needed. Yeah, man, it's about that time. It's about that time where it's like, all right, no more like those fights. Some of those fights were interesting to me. Obviously the Ryan Garcia fight was a real popular fight, but it's time where we see him in there with the elite dudes, like the undisputed champion in Devin Haney, like the 2 weight class world champion, pound for pound rated fighter Shakur Stevenson. Like, we got to see him in there with another undefeated black fighter. You know what I mean? And we got to see how Tank is able to solve these problems that's in front of him. You know what I'm saying? I think he's very capable of doing so, but we need to see it. Because we could think one thing, but that don't necessarily mean that shit going to play out like that. Like, I thought Bud and Spence was going to be a tough fight, and it wasn't. It was a tough fight for Earl, But like between each other, like it wasn't. It was one of Bud's easiest fights. How Canelo gonna be remembered when he retired cheater, when he retired a cheater and Duck Benavidez? I think a lot of people gonna forget about that shit, bro. Like the hardcore fans, like between me and you, we gonna remember shit like that. You know what I mean? But like people brains, like a lot of these dudes, like when they look back on the history books, they gonna remember Canelo as a 4-weight class world champion, bro. And they gonna name him one of the greatest one of Mexico's greatest fighters, and they gonna name some of the fighters that he beat and not give you any context in any of those situations. So um, I think that a lot of people gonna bypass that. That's what I think. Awesome, brother. Trying to see Fundora fight Jerron for the highlights. Oh man, man, why would you do that to Fundora? Fundora tailor made for somebody like Jerron, man. Boots will wash Fundora. See what Brian Mendoza did to that man? Come on. That's a bad job. Boots is a special kind of fighter, man. Like I'm telling you, like I remember walking into Bosie's dungeon when I was like 19, 20 years old. And he sparred a super middleweight that we had. And this is when Boots only had like, I think he was probably like 20 something and 0. He probably was like 20, 22, 23, 24 and 0, around that area. It was right around the time that he beat Armando Alvarez, or he was about to fight Armando Alvarez. It was his first fight on Showbox. And this dude, and our 168 was ranked top 15 in the country. You know what I'm saying? And this is a dude who's 54, 60, 3 weight classes above him. And he just treated him like a child, bro. He's too fast, too slick. He was like, he even looked like he was just as strong. Like, and these dudes that we be talking about sometimes, Boots done like beat the brakes off of in sparring. A lot of these dudes, they know Boots the truth. Boots is a special talent. To beat somebody like Boots, you need to be a special fighter. To beat a special fighter like Boots, you have to be a special fighter. And that's just what it is, bro. I can't see no regular dude at 147 who that's able to beat Jerron right now. That's just what I think. And I've been knowing this. Well, everybody talking about Boots right now, I've been knowing this for years. For years, I knew that he was going to be where he was at. He one of my favorite fighters in the game, bro. I knew once I seen him in the gym, I'm like, yo, if he's able to translate this under the lights, because there's a lot of guys who spar good, and then when they get under them lights, they fold. Boots, I'm like, yo, if this dude is able to show this to the people out there, that dude gonna be a problem. And he's been a problem. Canelo ducked Andre in 2 weight classes and ducked Andre for undisputed at 160. We know that. We know that. Trust me. We know that. That's stuff that me and you know. But is that gonna be in the history books when it's all said and done? Not at all. Like I heard about Sugar Ray Leonard ducking guys like Aaron Pryor and Donald Curry and stuff like that. But you never really hear that. You just hear about the fights that he had with Tommy Hearns, the fights he had with Benitez. You know what I mean? That's just stuff that people don't really care to talk about no more. They just talk about what they seen. I wonder how Spencer's gonna do at 154 because his thing is being the naturally bigger guy at 147, but at 154, them guys are also naturally big and fought bigger guys. That's true. I think Spencer do well at 154. You know what I mean? I think he's very capable of beating a guy like Tim Tszyu. You know what I'm saying? I think he's gonna feel a lot better at that weight. That 7 pounds is gonna make a difference. That's if he's not damaged from the Terrence Crawford fight. That's something that we're gonna have to take a look at too. But yeah, I think he'll be all right at 154. I definitely think he's capable of winning a world title at 154 for sure. And prior to this Crawford fight, I thought he was capable of beating Jermell. You know what I mean? I know they got the same trainers, but they both agree that they'll fight each other if the money right. So yeah, that's just what I think. I think that Spencer will hold his own pretty well at 54. I think that he'll feel a lot better being at that weight class. What's the next big pay-per-view fight? They could probably maybe AJ Wilder. Maybe they could do some pay-per-view numbers. You know what I mean? I think they'll do solid. That I don't think they'll do $1 million, but I think it could get in the 300,000 pay-per-view buys rated area. Maybe Jermell and Crawford, they could probably sell that as a pay-per-view. Yeah. If they got a solid undercard, if Crawford and Jermell have a solid undercard, they can sell some pay-per-views. They can sell some pay-per-views for sure. But I think that we're in the process of maybe Tank mixed in with the Haneys and the Shakurs. That could be a big pay-per-view fight too, because Tank has shown that he could sell hundreds of thousands of pay-per-view against lower level opposition. So imagine if he were to fight a guy that people thought that he could possibly lose against. That's when the pay-per-views go up. When you're in a fight that the haters think that you could possibly lose, they're going to tune in because they want to see you lose. You know what I mean? So maybe that. But I think like the only mega fight that was up right now was Ryan and Tank in terms of popularity, and then Crawford and Spence in terms of like, you know, like meaningfulness. You know what I mean? And we just got them back to back. So now it's like a whole new process of like seeing what guys could do, and just getting the next big fight talked about. I think that we like back at the bottom phase. That will pass Davis Garcia. Which one? I said a few of them. Okay. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. I'm just starting off. If you look back on my channel, like I got videos from years ago, but I was never really consistent. Like I enjoyed it, but it was like, you know, I was so caught up in the boxing gym myself and just being in just becoming a trainer, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. I just got caught up in the world of boxing, just being involved in it. But I always been told that I could break down boxing and talk boxing real well. So I figure like, why not? Why not just speak on it? Why not see what the people think about, you know, my thoughts, my opinions, and stuff like that. And yeah, man, it's been doing pretty well. It's been doing pretty well. Damn, my LED light just turned off. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck going on. But yeah, man, guys, like I've been having a lot of support, and I'm grateful for that. You know what I mean? Because they could have told me no. You know what I mean? They could have easily. Oh shit! Hold up. They could have easily told me no. You know what I mean? When I asked for that support and seeing like if guys could help me out with asking people to subscribe to my channel and stuff like that, they could have easily rejected that. But guys like Southpaw, and then I got people that shout me out on social media and stuff like that. I'm grateful. Definitely grateful. It could be, I could have a whole lot less support, but you know what I mean? Real recognized real at the end of the day. I appreciate that. I hope that Cobra and Tank fight ain't real. We know he just gonna be a sacrificial lamb. Nah, bro, for real. Like I hope that's not a real fight neither. You know what I mean? They could try to push it a certain way, and they could be like, "Oh, these guys don't like each other," and that Cobra like to run his mouth, so it'd be a good little trash talking promo. But in terms of meaningfulness, it's like why? Like Cobra looked like trash in the last fight against damn Rayo. Against Rayo Venezuela. He did not look good. He got hurt multiple times. A lot of people thought he lost that fight. And then after saying that he's going to give Rayo a rematch, he went back on his word. So that lets you know the type of dude Cobra is. Didn't look impressive at all. He's definitely not one of them top guys, in my opinion. And I just think that Tank will have his way. Pause. I think he'll have his way with Colbert, and I think that's just be another body on his resume. I hope Benavidez punishes Andre for blaming Canelo on his resume being so trash. I'm not a Canelo fan at all. I don't know, man. I like Andre. I think he's just a product of I think he's just a victim to boxing politics, man. I think that he's made some business moves that weren't the best neither. So I think that he's just on the bad end of the stick. You know what I'm saying? That's just what I think. I think he's been a victim to the politics of boxing and just making business moves that weren't the best. You know what I'm saying? But Andre still has time. He's not the youngest, but his window is still open for him to make some good fights happen. He's already he's a weight class world champion. You know what I mean? So he's accomplished some things in the sport. His resume lacks depth. You know what I'm saying? So it's sad, but it is what it is. I hope he do fight Benavidez because we'll really see where Andrade is at. Canelo Benavidez will pass 1.2 million pay-per-view buys. That shit would definitely do numbers. That shit'll be so big in the Mexican community, bro. Like you don't even dig it, bro. Them Mexican people gonna go crazy because if Canelo beats Benavidez, they hands down gonna say he the greatest Mexican fighter ever. They gonna be talking that talk, you know what I'm saying? But if Benavidez beats Canelo, it'll be like the passing of the torch. You know what I'm saying? It'll be like Canelo, who's on top of Mexico boxing right now, just handing the torch to Benavidez, who's also of Mexican descent. So, man, that shit'll do numbers, bro. That shit'll do numbers for sure. Benavidez will stop Canelo. Woo! Man, if he stopped Canelo, that'd be a fucking statement, bro. Stop motion MMA. Who you got, Valdez or Navarrete? I'm gonna tell you this. I'm not a fan of neither one of them. I think Valdez could pull it off, man. I think he could pull it off. After I seen his performance against Burchell, seeing like how he's able to box and make you miss and make you pay. Like he's not the best boxer. He's not the best boxer, but he boxes well enough to take guys like Burchell and Navarrete and outclass them. Navarrete makes a lot of mistakes. He punches from different angles. He an awkward dude. He's a good finisher. You know what I'm saying? He punch hard. You know what I'm saying? But I think Valdez is a type of dude who's just as gritty. You know what I mean? He's more skilled in my opinion. And he has a lot of crack too. You know what I'm saying? He got a lot of dog. There's no quitting Valdez. So I think Valdez has a very good chance of beating Navarrete. I don't know exactly what the odds are, but I think he's very capable of beating Navarrete. Especially, I've seen Navarrete hurt by lower tier opposition than Valdez, and he had a hard time. He came back and won. But like, if that dude is capable of hurting Navarrete, whoever that dude was, and I know Valdez is very capable of doing so. And if he hurts Navarrete in for a long night. Yeah, Jair and Trolley going back and forth. But yeah, man. I spoke on Jake Paul and Nate Diaz, but in all honesty, that fight's about to come on in a few hours. I think Jake Paul gonna stop Nate Diaz. I think that he gonna catch Nate Diaz with a clean right hand, and I think Nate Diaz is gonna fall victim to it. He probably gonna beat the count, but then I could just see him getting stopped afterwards. Nate Diaz is too small for the 180 plus pound division, whatever division they fight in. I'm assuming it's cruiser. I think Nate Diaz lacks defense, and I think he's just used to absorbing punishment. But you gotta understand, this isn't the UFC where these dudes don't like turn their punches over. Or like, you know what I'm saying? Or they could resort to wrestling and submitting and jiu-jitsu, all types of shit. These dudes are heavy hitters, bro. Jake Paul could crack. You know what I'm saying? So I could just see Jake Paul washing Nate Diaz within 5 rounds. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go with that. But I'm rooting for Nate Diaz. I hope Nate Diaz is able to pull it off and upset Jake Paul. I think that'll be hilarious. And I think that they'll just show how bad of a dude, pause, that Nate Diaz is. You know what I mean? Like, he'd be a real dog if he's able to get that off. I spoke on Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte. Let me see. There's a few comments that came up. Okay, they still going back and forth. H2 on the undercard of Jake. He nice. Yeah, I heard the dude. I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you. Like, I've watched his fights and stuff like that, but he definitely got some attention around his name. So, whenever I get the chance, I'm gonna definitely check him out and see if he the real deal. But yeah, I've heard of him for sure. I actually just had a text message about him because if we talking about the same dude, one of my former coworkers was telling me how he knew like his people out in Long Beach and stuff like that, and he's a pretty good fighter. So I'm gonna definitely check him out. Yeah, Nate getting stopped. Hope he wins. I hope he wins too, bro. I really hope that he's able to prove me wrong. I've been proven wrong. These last two fights, Foden anyway, and Spence and Bud, I've been proven wrong. So they say sometimes shit come in threes. I hope I'm wrong for the third time. I really hope I am. I hope Nate is able to find a way to beat Jake. If Jake can't hurt Nate, then he might be in trouble. You know what I mean? Yeah, they still going back and forth. Yeah, Drake bet on Nate Diaz for 200K. 250K, I think, because it was a 4-1 odds. Nate Diaz is a 4-1 underdog. So if he put up 250, if he win, he get a mil. But that's pocket change for Drake, man. That's pocket change for Drake. He ain't tripping if he lose that. Who going out of business first? Top Rank or DAZN? Well, DAZN is not a promotional company; it's a network. It's like a channel, and Top Rank is a promotional company. So, I mean, if I had to guess, Top Rank not going nowhere. Top Rank is worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Hundreds of millions of dollars. They still got fight films from back in the day. They got some of the best, if not the best, prospects in boxing right now. They got Shakur Stevenson, who's a 2-weight class world champion. They got Jared Anderson, who's a promising heavyweight, possibly might be a heavyweight champion of the world, but promising talent. They got Xander Zayas from Puerto Rico. They got Omar Rosario, who's on the come up. They got Richard Torres, who's trying to look to solidify his name in the heavyweight division. There's a lot of people on the Top Rank banner, bro. Shushu, he one of my favorite ones. Bruce Carrington. I don't know if I mentioned Keyshawn Davis. Bro, and they cards just be packed with some of the top like prospects, bro. Some of the top prospects. Like, you gotta give Top Rank their credit. So if I had to guess, and then the DAZN subscriptions getting higher and higher every month. They always talk about how they losing money and stuff like that. I could definitely see the DAZN, the network, going out before the promotional company Top Rank. Even after Bob Arum gone, I think Top Rank is just gonna be, you know what I mean, upper echelon of the boxing world. Top Rank has been around for decades. It's not going nowhere. Facts. I don't think they're going nowhere neither. It's too much history, man. Too much history. You know what I mean? Like, Bob Arum was there for the Muhammad Ali days. He's made so many legendary fights. It's like, can you really get rid of a company that bears that much history? I don't think so, man. I don't think that's something that they could do. I remember Bob was contemplating selling it at one point, but I think he's just one of them dudes who's gonna work until he passed away. Canelo was struggling with John Ryder later on that went. That's facts. I think that Canelo, I'm going to keep it a buck. I don't know exactly what the reason it is, but Canelo is definitely on a decline. He's not the same fighter who fought James Kirkland. He's not the same fighter who fought Miguel Cotto. He's not the same fighter that fought the Amir Khans. Even in the first, second Triple G fight, he's not that same fighter anymore. You know what I mean? Canelo is 32, but like Oscar De La Hoya said, Canelo's an old 32. Canelo turned pro when he was 15 years old. He has been boxing for 17 years on a professional level. He has been boxing professionally for more than half of his life. And I think he has over 60 fights. That's over 60 training camps. All that wear and tear. This man got busted up knees, shoulders, broken hands, and bro, his body is deteriorating on him before our very eyes. A lot of people don't want to admit it, but you know what I mean? Canelo is getting older, and his performances are showing it. Not only that, but even from a mental aspect, Canelo's not all the way there in love with boxing how he used to be. He doesn't really have that hunger anymore. I just feel like he's more interested in golf right now. You know what I mean? He's partying more than ever. He on that golf course a whole lot. It's like he's trying to spend as much time on the golf course than he is at the boxing gym, and it's showing in his performances. So I think he's just burning out from a physical aspect and a mental aspect if we being real. Like, Canelo's still him. He can still beat a lot of these dudes, but he's gonna be in trouble when he's in there with a young, hungry dude who's motivated and is looking to prove something to feed their family. And that might be Jermell Charlo. We gotta see. Talking about Omar, supposedly Omar Rohan Polanco could be a thing. Yeah, I saw that. And I heard Omar wants to leave Top Rank. I could be wrong on that. I ain't hear nothing about that, but I mean, when you give me the chance, if you see like an article or something, send that my way. Because I ain't hear nothing about that. But Top Rank been feeding him some undefeated dudes, and he been beating them, and he's been in there with some guys that's pretty solid. Top Rank finds and build on real talent. PBC boys learned the hard way last week. I don't know. You referring to Terrence Crawford, yeah, Earl Spence? Yeah, most likely. Yeah, they got great matchmaking at Top Rank, bro. Their matchmaking is top tier. You know what I mean? The problem with Top Rank is that once their fighters get to a certain level, it's like they don't want to compensate them anymore. They can't get them to big fights. You know what I mean? That's why a lot of these dudes end up leaving Top Rank, like Andy, like Bud, like Floyd Mayweather, like Oscar De La Hoya. The list goes on and on. Even Edgar Berlanga left after he started getting a little bit of clout. So that's the problem Top Rank got. I think he lost some motivation. Yeah, Canelo definitely lost some motivation, bro. It's showing in his performances. And the ring, I'm gonna tell you this though, the boxing ring is always gonna expose what you got going on. Like if you slacking in camp, it's gonna show in the ring. You can't lie to the ring, it's gonna expose you every time. And because Canelo hasn't been looking so impressive in his latest joints, it could be various factors. Like I said, it could be him not being mentally invested as he used to be. It could be just him being on the decline physically. You know what I mean? It could be so many things, but that Canelo, like the Canelo that fought Caleb Plant, I thought would have stopped John Ryder. What does this mean? That's just what I think. Ever since the Bill fight, he just seemed like he's not really in it like that no more. You know what I mean? That's just what I think. It's just what I think. Vanez Martin Rosen was top 5 when he fought Andy. That's when Vanez was dangerous. But that was like 2010, bro. That was so long ago. Vanez went on to move up the middleweight. He left PBC, signed with Diane King, and then got knocked out by Triple G. So his career just completely disintegrated. Who is the best? Ooh, that's a good one. Who's the best gatekeeper in boxing? Now, we got to address the gatekeepers, though. Who will be the gatekeepers? I know Derek Chisora is a gatekeeper, for sure. Jorge Cotto is a gatekeeper. Nathaniel Gallimore is a gatekeeper. I feel like Carlos Ocampo is becoming a gatekeeper. Sean Porter was a gatekeeper for real. He was just of the elite though. Sean Porter done fought everybody, bro, and like everybody used him as like a measuring stick to see like if they were who they said they were or not. He was a gatekeeper, but only for the world champions. It wasn't like he was fighting prospects. Hank Lundy became a gatekeeper towards the end of his career. Gabe Rosado, but he's retired. But he might have been the best one. I agree. Top Rank struggles with getting them big fights. Luckily, PBC sacrificed voting. Wait. Yeah. I don't think it was a sacrifice though. I think they honestly thought he could beat anyway. I think that was a move that they thought was doable. Jaime Munguia, is he? Nah, he's not a gatekeeper. He's not a gatekeeper. He hasn't even fought anybody. Like, gatekeepers actually fight people. That's what make them a gatekeeper. Like, they get thrown in the dungeon and gotta fight real dogs and they gotta thug it out. Like, Jaime Munguia ain't fight nobody, bro. I think he fought Gabe Rosado. Rayo Venezuela versus Santos was a movie. Yeah, they was going at it for sure. They was getting that shit popping. Man, I wonder what's going on with this LED light, man. Man, my fucking video look dark as hell now. I guess the battery died. I don't know. That shit was going good, so that shit just turned off suddenly. Wonder what happened. How the fuck this LED light died? I just got this shit. This is my first time using this shit. Alright, whatever. Man, this shit all lopsided and shit. Alright. Let me just turn this light on. What's the biggest upset I've seen live, like in person, in the flesh? Probably like in person. Maybe Jason Rosario versus J-Rock. I seen that live at the Leocord Center. Yeah, that probably was the biggest upset I've seen live. But if we talking about like on fucking video, like videos and stuff like that, you definitely got to refer to the Mike Tyson's upsets, Lennox Lewis upsets. There's a few. Oscar wants Jaime Munguia to be 50-0. I don't know why, bro. Like, do that 50-0 even mean shit if you ain't fight nobody? Come on, man. Like, imagine that shit, bro. You 50-0, you bragging about it, but you ain't fight nobody that people asked you to fight. Everybody Jaime was supposed to fight that people called upon, he never made it happen. They just been feeding him guys that's like either over the hill and still struggling with them, or he just fighting guys that we don't give a fuck about. Like, who the fuck wanted to see Munguia versus Derevchenko, bro? Like, seriously. Like, seriously, bro. Golden Boy does a terrible job, man. Building their fighters. None of their fighters learn shit. Because the whole process of matchmaking, this is what people don't understand. Like, this is why Top Rank are special at this. They can see Top Rank are masters at building fighters because they'll see these matchmakers actually take the time to study these fighters, see what they do right, see what they do wrong, and find opposition that is able to help them improve their deficiencies. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say, for example, Xander Zayas, right? Let's say he had trouble fighting going backwards. He can't fight going backwards. They're going to put him in there with a pressure fighter that he's capable of beating. You know what I mean? They're not going to put him in there with a pressure fighter that can completely dismantle him. But they could put him in there with a pressure fighter who's beatable, that he's capable of beating, that he's just like a couple notches above. You know what I mean? And that fighter might push him back at some points, and he can just work on fighting going backwards. And he continue. It's kind of like when you at the gym, right? If I got a fighter who's having trouble with his defense and stuff like that, I'm gonna put him in there with a kid who's not that experienced that just throw wild shots so they could find ways to work on their defense and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So that's the whole process of matchmaking. I said all that. That's the whole process of matchmaking, to make a fighter better and to groom them into being a world champion, fight by fight. That's what Top Rank is good at. Jaime Munguia has not fought anybody that will help him get ready for a guy. Let's say he has 68. Like, can he beat a Benavidez? No, man. Like, come on, this guy is ridiculous, bro. Like, the best dude that he fought was Saddam Ali. And Saddam Ali, he was only known for being a Cotto that was on his way out. It's facts. It's all facts. I don't know why Thurman entertained an exhibition with Shields. She embarrassing herself. Yeah, she has like, Clarissa has like some type of obsession with wanting to prove that she can hang with men. And it's like, bro, you're a female at the end of the day. You call yourself the GOAT. You're the greatest woman of all time. Like, why isn't that enough for you? You're a two-time Olympic gold medalist. You're a two-time undisputed world champion. You can't really be faded right now in the weight classes that you in. You can pretty much go about things how you want to go. Like, what? Why isn't that enough for you? Why can't you just stay in your lane? I don't understand that. Like, and it's specifically Keith Thurman that's confusing me, because it's like, well, what's your obsession with Keith? It's like that girl that picked on you at middle school that always made fun of you, talked about you, but they low key had a crush on you or something like that. Like, that's what it remind me of. That's what it remind me of. Like, it just seemed like she got a little crush on Keith or something, bro. Like, I don't know. And that's a weird situation. You know what I mean? And like Keith Thurman, he's entertaining it, but he's like playing her at the same time. He's like, yeah, we could box with big gloves, and I'll just use my jab. You know what I'm saying? Like he just playing with her, but Clarissa dead serious. You know what I'm saying? Like, she really feel like she got something to prove, and it's like, it's confusing, because you probably the most accomplished female fighter of all time. Why do you feel like you got to do the most? I don't understand. What's the best division in boxing? Whew. Well, there's a lot of great divisions in boxing. The problem is they're not fighting each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, 135 could possibly be the best division in boxing if they fought each other. You know what I'm saying? Because you got the Shakurs, you got the Haneys, you got the Shakurs, you got the Haneys, you got the Tanks, and then you got the guys coming up, the Frank Martins, you got the Keishawns, you got the who else? You got the Rayo Venezuelas that's on the lookout as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's oh yeah, you got the Santos dude that beat Rayo. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of smoke in that area. 140 got a lot of smoke too. They got Superreal, they got Regis, they got Rolly, they got Tiafimo, they got Devin Haney that's coming up right now. They got Brandon Lee. It's a lot of smoke at 140, 47, of course. They got the Buzz, the Spencers, who both moving up. They got the they got the Boots, they got the Thurmans, they got the Cody Crawleys. Who else? There's a lot of smoke. They still got the Romain Vilas. 54, bro. It's like between 35. Don't weight classes, 135, 47, and 54 is just straight gas in all three of them divisions, bro. So it just depends on who you talking to. You know what I mean? But my favorite division is 147, no doubt. That was my favorite division. 168 got a lot of smoke too now. So we'll see. I think Regis will knock out Haney. Man, I'm gonna say this. He's fully capable of doing so. He's fully capable. He could do it. But I just think, in my honest opinion, bro, like from my assessment of how the way I look at it stylistically, I think that Devin Haney's all wrong for Regis Prograde from a stylistic standpoint. I think that Devin Haney's jab, him understanding range, you know, him being able to get out of harm's way, his quick feet, fast hands. And I just feel like Regis is too economical, man. I just feel like he's too economical. And Regis showed you, he showed you in his last fight, if you got a little something on your punches, then you could get his respect. He was real cautious with that dude he fought. And it might have been because he was strong, you know what I mean? It could be several reasons why that played out how it did. But regardless, he shows you that you could get his respect if you do what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? So that's my honest opinion. That's my honest opinion on that situation. Let's see something. Yeah, Trolley and Jair been going back and forth for a minute. Yeah, that's a debate right there. That's a debate for sure. I've been to plenty of those. I know how that shit go. Shit get hot too. Shit get heated. Shit definitely get heated. Especially when you're passionate about a topic. Ooh, that's a good one right there, boy. Top 3 heavyweights of all time. I'm gonna try to give you 5. Top 3 heavyweights of all time. I'm gonna go with Joe Louis. Joe Louis had the longest. He was the longest reigning heavyweight champion of all time. Muhammad Ali. I'm gonna go with Muhammad Ali because not only what he did inside the ring, but outside the ring as well. He got a hell of a resume. He got the George Foremans, the Floyd Pattersons, Joe Frazier's, of course. He has a stacked resume, man. He beat some solid dudes. And he fought some solid dudes too. Like even on his way out, he fought the Larry Holmes of the world. And I might throw Larry Holmes as third. You know what I mean? Larry Holmes is one of the most skilled heavyweights of all time. Hell of a jab. Underrated resume. I just think that he caught a lot of slack for what he did to Muhammad Ali. He had pretty much a bad reputation. You gotta go with Lennox Lewis as well. Lennox Lewis, I think he's one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. One of the most skilled ones as well. One of the best 1-2s I've seen all time. One of the greatest resumes. You know what I mean? That man has a stacked resume. Whether we go from Mike Tyson, even when he retired, he went on to fight Vitaly Klitschko, who reigned as heavyweight champion for almost a decade after that fight. He beat the Ray Mercers. He beat the Frank Brunos. He wanted to fight. He wanted to fight Riddick Bowe, but that fight wasn't able to happen. Evander Holyfield, they gave him a draw, but he really beat him. Every loss he took, he ended up avenging by knockout. Shannon Briggs, that's another one who was 2-time heavyweight champion of the world. Lennox Lewis' resume is extremely underrated. You know what I mean? Extremely underrated. So I think Joe Louis, Muhammad Ali, Larry Holmes, Lennox Lewis. Who could I put at 5? Shit. I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That 5th spot, I might save for Mike because he was the youngest heavyweight champion of all time, and that's a great accolade to have. You could put George Foreman there. You could put Evander there. Evander. You could put Evander Holyfield there too. I thought he did a little bit more than Mike in his career. I'll go with Holyfield. So that's the 5 right there. Holmes is underrated, bro. Holmes is underrated. Larry Holmes was a monster. He's one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. But like I said, he had a bad reputation because of what he did to Muhammad Ali. A lot of people, it didn't sit well with a lot of people. And it was a real sad sight to see. You know what I'm saying? Go 623. Who has the best jab in boxing? Woo. It's different types of jabs, bro. Damn, that's a good one. You gotta go with off the top. Earl Spence got a good jab. He wasn't able to use it against Crawford. But Crawford displayed a top-tier jab, so I'm going to throw Crawford in there. I'm going to throw Spence in there. And what makes Spence's jab so good is how consistent he is with it. So that's one. Devin Haney has a great jab. A great jab. Like, the way he was using it against Kambosos was a masterclass. Who else? Boots showed a great jab against Romain Vila, bro. Like, a great jab. There's a lot, man. There's a lot. I can't really say who has the best jab, but Devin Haney has a beautiful jab. A beautiful jab. Yeah, that's what I think. I'm gonna go with Earl Spence having the most consistent jab. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Devin Haney for overall jabs. I'm gonna give him that. I ain't the biggest fan of Haney, but I'm gonna give him that. Green versus Savannah Marshall, a good one. Green on the Jake undercard. Hopefully Savannah don't duck. Savannah, that was a tough fight for Clarissa, man. Clarissa had a lot of trouble with that pressure. You know what I mean? She was able to overcome it and bite down and get the victory and outland her, laying clean shots. But Savannah Marshall's pressure was a lot for Clarissa to deal with. You could tell Clarissa was fatigued after that fight, dealing with that pressure. She don't really like pressure. Lil Charlo, in terms of jabs, he got a good jab too. He got a great one too. But the big Charlo Jermell, that jab a shotgun, bro. I've seen him hurt dudes with jabs. Like when you watch that Julian Williams fight, the first knockdown was a jab, and Julian was genuinely hurt. Like his legs was gone after that, and it just went on the decline. And then when Big Charlo, when he fought Cornelius Bundridge, he knocked down Cornelius with a jab, like a power jab. Like Jermell has a hell of a jab, a strong ass jab. Hope Benavidez move up to fight Bivol or that dude with the 100% knockout rate. I think you're talking about Better Beef. Well, apparently Bivol and Benavidez have sparred in the past, and they said it didn't really go too well for Bivol. So that probably gives Benavidez a lot of confidence. But him moving up to 175 would definitely stir things up, because I feel like 175 pretty much dead in the water right now because the two guys who are unified not fighting each other. The WBC is blocking it because Bivol's from Russia, which I don't understand why that even means anything, because it's not like Bivol out there contributing to the war. I don't really understand that, but it is what it is. Yeah, Big Charlo got a good shotgun jab. Yeah, bro. Yeah, his jab is strong. He could hurt you with a jab if he catch you in the right spot. Who do you think is the best light heavyweight of all time? Shit. You could list some guys and I could tell you. But it's a good one, man, because light heavy done had some dudes. They had the Roy Jones at his peak, who was probably the greatest fighter of all time. Like, I tell you this, bro. Like, if Roy Jones would have retired after the John Ruiz fight, I think he genuinely would have been considered like the greatest of all time. I just think that how the way his career ended, threw that off, took that off the table. It's a lot, man. You can name something, I could tell you, but you know what I mean? It's a tough one. I would have to look at a list and I'll be able to break it down for you. There's too many to name off the top. If we talking about like current, I think the best light heavy right now is Bivol, for real. Because of who he's beat. The way that he beat Canelo and Gilberto Ramirez back to back was impressive to me. This is my honest opinion. Light heavies. I would love to know how the way Adonis Stevenson would have went against these current light heavyweights. I know that Vosdick beat him, but I thought he was already like on his way out. In all honesty, I would have loved to have known. I would have loved to have known how a prime Adonis Stevenson would have fared against the better Beavs and the Bivels of the world with all that dynamite he had in that left hand. But the Jake Paul and Nate Diaz fight card has started. I've been on here for an hour and a half chopping it up with y'all. Yo, top 5 best middleweights of all time. All right, I'm going to answer this one, and then I'm going to be up out of here. So I'm going to go with number 1. I'm not going to put them in no order. I'm going to go Bernard Hopkins, Marvin Hagler, Carlos Monzon, shit. Damn, I'm stuck after them 3 right there. Who the other 2 I could put there? So I got B-Hop, Marvin Hagler, Carlos Monzon. Shit. I guess, Triple G? Is Triple G a top 5 middleweight of all time? Is he a top middleweight of all time? John Mugabe? It's a few of them, man. It's definitely a few of them. That's a good question. Top 5 best middleweights of all time. I know I got my top 3 is solid. The last 2, I'm gonna have to really do some research on that. Mazuma, my bad, bro. I had to teach this casual a lesson. That's funny. It's always good to debate, though, man. Eventually, I'm gonna start bringing people on my platform, especially when I start getting up there. And just have people debate. You know what I'm saying? In a respectful way. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is. Mazuma TV, best channel. Appreciate that, my brother. That's what I'm aiming to do. I'm motivated. And I'm looking to really do some things on YouTube. So we'll see. But I'm gonna get to this Jake Paul and Nate Diaz card. You know what I mean? I don't got nothing else to do. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Shout out to Mazuma Nation. Shout out to Mazuma TV. Yo, check out MazumaMerch.com, man. Check out MazumaMerch.com. 100% of the designs are made by me for the fight fan and the boxing and the actual boxers, man. Check it out. Let me know what y'all like. Feel free to support. You know what I mean? Follow me on Instagram at mark.mazuma, mark.mazuma. And follow my personal coaching page at Coach Mazuma, COACHMAZUMA. You know what I'm saying? MAZUMA. Coach Mazuma and Mark.Mazuma on Instagram. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, bro, I appreciate that truly. Go ahead and check out the merch, man. Tell me what you like. My merch has been pretty successful, so I'm thankful. You know what I mean? I put a lot of time and effort into my design, so to see people actually purchasing it and wearing it around me is pretty dope. So I appreciate that, man. But yo, feel free to subscribe to the channel, man. Let y'all people know about this. Give us a thumbs up. Share the video if y'all can. That's about it, man. Let me see what this dude said. He said, Drake put $200K on Diaz as flush of money. Yo, when you got money like that, man, it ain't too much to put up. You know what I mean? So when you got that kind of money, $200K ain't too much. Let's keep it respectful, though, y'all. Let's keep it respectful. Let's just keep it boxing. All right, Jair and Trolley, let's keep it boxing, bro. Y'all could debate without being, you know what I mean, acting crazy. But this is Mazuma TV, man. Shout out to Mazuma Nation. Shout out to the Mazuma Mob. I appreciate you guys checking in. And I'm out of here, bro. Deuces.